guys, today we're going to learn about the coordinate plane and we're going to be looking at all four quadrants. So our objective is to identify integers on the coordinate plane, so that would be positive and negative numbers, and this is page 49. Alright, well first some vocabulary. The coordinate plane, it's a plane formed by two number lines that intersect at a right angle. A quadrant is a section or quarter of the coordinate plane, so there's four quarters or quadrants. The axes is the x and the y number lines, so axis is one, axes plural. Origin is the point 0, 0 where the two axes intersect. An ordered pair is a pair of numbers that gives the location of a point on the coordinate plane. So for example, 0, 0, if I put a point right here, I could go 1, 2, 3, and then up 2. So this point right here, the ordered pair would be 3, 2. Okay, and then coordinates are the actual numbers in the ordered pair. So the x coordinate would be a 3, the y coordinate would be a 2. Okay, so then we have a model or a picture of it. So in the first quadrant, we have a positive x and y. In the second quadrant, we have a negative x because we're going backwards. These are negatives when we go to the left of 0 because it's like a number line. So here's positive x values, here's negative x values. Okay, so we have a negative x, but we still have a positive y because above would be positive, below would be negative. The third quadrant, we have negative and negative x and y. And then the fourth quadrant, we'd have a positive x, but a negative y. All right, and just remember the quadrants, you want to probably think clockwise, but you have to think the opposite. I always say, hey, my name is Miss Charles. Charles starts with a C, so draw a C, and that's the order of the quadrants. So 1, 2, 3, 4, as if you were drawing a C. All right, so now I have some ordered pairs right here, and so we're going to label these points. So the first point we have is 1, 4. So before I can do that, I only have a few numbers labeled here, so I really shouldn't label the other lines so that I don't make any mistakes. So this right here would have to be 0, 0 because it is the origin. And I have 6 here, so I know I can't be counting by 1 because that'd be 1, 2, 6. That doesn't make sense. So what could I count by? Well, there's 3 lines to get to 6, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this would have to be 2, 4, 6, and then the same thing on this side, except remember going to the left is negative, so this would be negative 2 and negative 4. And then label the y-axis. Well, I notice it's the same thing, so then north or above would be positive, so 2, 4, 6, and below would be negative 2, negative 4, negative 6. All right, now that I've labeled that, let's name these points. So we have 1, 4. So it's important to remember that when I plot a point, you're gonna crawl before you climb. When you're a baby, you learn to crawl before you start climbing things. Another analogy I like is an airplane. When an airplane is taking off, it doesn't just lift straight off. It goes down the runway before it can take off into the air. So you gotta go sideways before you can go up or down. So here, 1 is the x coordinate. Remember, this is x and then y. Think x is first in the alphabet, so x comes first. All right, so I have to go sideways first. I would go over to 1, and this is 0 and this is 2, so 1 would be here. And then the y coordinate tells me 4, so I'd go up to 4 because it's positive. So that'd be right here. So I'm going to put a dot there, and I'm going to label it A. And now I want to name what quadrant this is in. Well, right here would be quadrant 1, so I'm going to put Q1. All right, let's look at B. Negative 2, 6. Well, my x coordinate is a negative 2, so I'm going to go to the left, negative 2. And then it's a positive 6, so I have to go up 6, so that'd be right here. And I'm going to label that B. And what quadrant is that in? 1, 2. So Q2. I'm using Roman numerals. And then here I have negative 5, negative 3. So my x means I go negative first to negative 5, which would be in between negative 4 and negative 6. And then down negative 3, which would be right here. So put a dot there. That's point C. And 1, 2, 3, quadrant 3. And last one is D, and I go 1, so right here, and then 0. So 0 means I don't move at all, so it would have to be right here. And that's point D. Now be careful, don't just get in a habit and say 1, 2, 3, that must be quadrant 4. It's not, because it's not in this quadrant. It's actually on the axis, and this right here is the x-axis, and this is the y, so it would be x-axis. Okay, now on the second part, we are given the letter, and the points are already on here. We just need to write down what the ordered pair is. All right, so let's look at E. I know that this has to be E because it was in quadrant 1, so that's why I was able to label it E. Same thing here. I knew this one had to be F because it says quadrant 2. I knew G had to be right here because it said it's on the y-axis. And I knew H had to be here because it says quadrant 4. Okay, so let's name the points. We have first, we go over, well, it's in between 4 and 6, so that would be 5. 5, comma. And then I would go up halfway, which would be where 1 is, so it's 5, comma 1. Okay, next one, F. I'm going negative, so it'd be negative 4. And then I go up to positive 4, so negative 4, 4. Okay, G, now going X means sideways. I don't move sideways at all because it's right above G. So I would have 0 as my X. And then I have to go down, which I already know is negative. And let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, so negative 3. And last one is H, that would be over 2. And then I go down to negative 2. All right, so there you have it. That's both identifying points and plotting points on the coordinate plane, and also we need to make sure we are able to identify with the quadrant or if they're in the X or Y axis. All right, guys, keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.